Hi guys.
Hello.
So we're just resolving the end of the last round. Basically,
Just a bit of cleanup.
just a bit of cleanup. I won, so I get to take my pick of which of those cards I want.
I mean, we both actually sort of came out with a 9 credit loss,
But
but
none of
Ollie
us
actually
survived.
finished, and I got destroyed by a meteor swarm. So he's going to get to choose the first team guy.
Now I'm very conscious that the saboteur is there, Mike. So I'm going to take the delivery man, Mike. Because the delivery man.
I wanted the delivery man.
He has a pretty awesome ability.
Yeah, he's the best one.
He's literally, after building, I can use one of my part tokens to convert one of the ship's components to the type shown. So if I'm like, oh, no, I really needed a gun there, then I'll be like, I have a gun there now.
So,
unfortunately.
The saboteur takes components that your opponent set aside. To be honest, the thing about the saboteur, his A ability is not particularly interesting. His B ability is great. It says, before the flight, you may sabotage each other player's ship. Remove one astronaut, but not a luxury cabin astronaut. Use it to mark a connection between two components. If one is destroyed, the other will be too. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to take it, but even though the hotel clerk is not particularly great, I just don't think we need to be... Although Ollie did win the last round, now that I think about it.
Technically, he just limped to the finish line. We came out level pegging.
The thing is, the hotel clerk actually has this ability where his B ability really boosts stasis chambers. So 2 of the crew members in your stasis chamber start awake in the stasis chamber, which is great because what it means is if everyone else dies, those awake stasis members can wake up the other ones, which normally what would happen is if you, say, lost 4 crew members and you were unable to then wake up the ones in stasis, because you have to resolve the card before you start waking things up. Or, for example, if you had 4 crew members and you sent them all over to the abandoned ship, you wouldn't be able to you wouldn't have anyone left to wake up the ones in stasis. No. So it's quite a fringe ability, but it's still a small benefit.
And to be fair, you're probably going to find it more useful once you get away from the ship build.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what actually
comes up.
So now that we've selected that, the saboteur's going on the bottom. I'll flip over 3 more, and we'll just talk you through what those do. Well, let's do the team members before we talk about our ships.
Sure.
So the first one is the assembler here. What does he do, Ollie? I think you like him.
Oh, he's awesome. So basically, remember what the router does, where you can be like, okay, I'm connecting all of these things together.
I like his face. His face is just like, what?
Yeah, the assembler is just like, put a wireless token on each one of them. Now, they're joined together. It doesn't matter what they are. So you could have a solar panel on one side of your ship with a gun on the other side, and they're connected. Or if you want to be really, really cool and really anal retentive in how you make stuff, you can connect 2 routers together. So everything attached to one router is attached to everything on the other. So you can link solar panels, you can link the shields with the overcharger, or in my case, the engine booster with the actual engine this time. Basically, anything that you think, oh, I really would like those 2 things to count as adjacent. Especially, for example, if you had the incinerator and you thought, okay, I'm going to be fine. And you think, okay, I've charged all these batteries up. What else are you going to do with it? So you can connect it to the cannon if you lose your battery packs.
I don't think you can power the battery packs with an incinerator.
No?
No.
It's okay.
The battery... I don't think you can...
Directly power them.
Directly power things with the furnace. Oh. But you can do sort of... Anyway, other bits and pieces. And then his B ability is actually fantastic.
Yeah. So after building, choose a component, use your plating tokens to replace all of its exposed connectors with indestructible plating. You have no weak spot, at least on that bit.
Really good. Yeah. So we'll want to finish well for that.
Yeah.
Now the welder here, he's also very good.
Oh, he's also good. So the welder is basically I want to connect this and I don't care what you're going to say. So during the building stage twice, you can just join a simple connector to a double connector. So basically you can make it as if it was universal. So where we were struggling to find the pieces we needed to actually put it together, he gets to go, screw this, I have a blowtorch, and puts them together.
Presumably this will also work on my temporal splice.
So he can make them universal, which means they're perfect. His B ability is also really good, because after building, you may mark up to 3 exposed connectors as welded. They no longer count as exposed. So it's very similar to the assembler's second ability, but instead of making one of them indestructible, he's just made them non-exposed. So the little meteors won't bugger up the ships anymore. We hope.
Right, so the assembler,
Makes them invulnerable.
yeah, the assembler makes all of the exposed connections on one thing invulnerable, whereas the welder can make up to 3 different exposed connections welded.
Just sealed. They're just sealed to space.
And who's our last guy here?
It's got to be something useless.
Security guard.
Oh, maybe not.
I have no idea. What does this do?
Okay, so he is before the flight. You may choose to have all players, including you, pay 1 credit for each exposed connector. So he'd be really good if he had the welder or the assembler already, and you're just like, do you know what? You have a lot of exposed connections on your ship. Pay up. Mainly, he's kind of the money version of the saboteur. He's just going to rob you.
Once during the building, before the timer is on the start space, you may shout fire drill. All other players must stop building and run around the table twice before they can continue.
Can we not do that one because there's not much room around this table?
We're so doing that one.
Oh.
If it comes up. I honestly can't see either of us taking the security guard over the assembler or the welder.
No.
However, if I could make you run around the table, I would.
You do realise I will push you out of the way if you make me do this.
I'll just tuck my chair in, it'll be fine.
This table's not connected to the rest of it, it will fall off.
If you knock this table over, then
I'm going to
you're
die.
Fired.
Fire drill! Maybe. Okay, so...
so now that we've done that...
Yeah, we'll show.
Yeah, let's just talk about our ships.
So,
I mean, I'll do mine first because it's super simple. I'm doing 2C because we're going to go on flight 2.
Yep.
It's going to be a level 2 flight. We're using the level 2 ships. Mine's exactly the same as the first level 1 ship, except that those orange squares I couldn't build in before, I can now build in. So essentially, I just gain 8 spaces at the front and back of the ship.
Yeah.
So it's still the same shitty garbage piece of crap I had last time, only now it's slightly bigger. And it's not even that much bigger.
So I'm feeling the burn of this one because you remember that lovely, very simple ship that I just had to build.
Yeah.
Well, now I have to build 2 ships, and they both have to work. I have to have 2 sets of engines, 2 sets of guns, 2 sets of shielding, and basically it's just that much more difficult for me to screw up.
I've actually used that board before for this game, and it's
Diabolical.
It's diabolical. It's a real headache.
Yeah. So I was just looking at the ship, going, oh, I've got this nice middle space to fill up, so I can either just take it as abandon those 2 sections and hope that the rest of the ship's fine, or suffer. I think I'm going to suffer, to be honest. But
yeah, I've used that one before, and it's just a real headache because you've got to make sure you've got engines and guns and power.
It'd be great if I could
crew
just move
members.
them there.
Well, I think you can spend batteries across them.
Can I?
Let's find out.
Please let that be true.
Let's. Oh, here we go.
Hello?
Oh no, just as an example here.
Why would you open it on the page that says giving up?
A class 2 setup building. You can build 2 halves simultaneously. In each half, the first component can be placed in any square, but the rest of the components must be added to it in the usual way.
Batteries can only be used to power components in their own half of the ship. When counting engine strength, count up each half individually and use the lower number. The brown alien's bonus only applies to the half of the ship. Oh, this is so difficult. I hate you for making me do this one.
I had to do that one. I've had to do that one.
This is so complicated. It's not even... They are 2 separate ships and I have to count each one.
In every respect.
So if I have an engine check, like last time with the black hole, and one of them can make it and the other one can't, the other one drags it back.
He has to... So he's got to have solid... Well, solid engines on both ships. The aliens only benefit the ship they're on. Batteries can only be used for the ship it's on. They're essentially...
Essentially, this is just a why would you do this?
But at least the cannons are added together.
Well, yeah, because I'm shooting up...
And the crew is added together. You can reorganize the crew in any way.
Just so you know, anytime I have to move a member of crew from one to the other, picture in your mind they're just getting fired out to the other ship in a spacesuit.
Can you move crew between them too?
That's what you just said.
Now, when counting crew members, add the crew of the 2 halves together. However, if an adventure card leaves you without any humans on one half of your ship, that one must give up.
Why would you do this to me? All right.
The engine booster can only send the half of the ship it's on into hyperspace. So an engine booster, when you use the engine booster, what happens actually is you discard the engine attached to it, and the ship goes into hyperspace, and what that means is you actually sit out
the rest of the round.
The rest of the adventure card. And I think you actually skip the next one as well. So you escape from the one you're on. You skip the next one and come back for the one after that.
Yeah, but you don't. Oh no, you don't lose space days because you're in hyperspace. Of course.
So when one half of your ship gives up,
Yep.
You immediately gain
Likely.
half the money for the goods aboard rounded up. You return everything back to the bank or whatever. Return the components to the table. You still have to pay for the ones that fell off. And then the other one carries on.
I will be
by
bankrupt
itself.
by the end of this game. All right, let's go for it. Come on, Mike. Yo,
Okay.
stop laughing at my misfortune. It's not funny yet. It'll be
I
funny
forgot
later.
that was in the A track
You
and not
liar.
the B track.
Okay.
Well, I feel
so-
like the A track is like challenging ships to build. The C track is like even more challenging ships to build that have weird rules, and the B track is like ships that have random stuff. Like the B track's got you like rolling dice and things and you can't build on those dice.
Should we do the
So
Rough Rider card?
do we do Rough Rider or mission first? It doesn't matter, does
It
it?
doesn't matter in the slightest.
All right, let's do the Rough Rider card.